everybody. My name is Amenan, and I come from Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire. For those who don't know, Côte d'Ivoire is the country of the famous footballer Didier Drogba. Do you guys know Africa? Are there any African here? Okay. So for those who don't know Africa, by 2030, Africa will have the largest workforce than China. And by 2050, Africa will have the largest workforce in the world. Meaning that if we don't create jobs, we are sitting on a ticky-time bomb, not just for Africa, but indeed the rest of the world. Few years ago, like 4 years ago, I was just a little girl, like any other ordinary African girl, with a very limited ambition of getting a bachelor degree, get a small job, get married, have some kids, live and die. But getting my first ever personal computer in 2016 has changed my professional ambition to become a passionate digital entrepreneur who want to create jobs in Africa and also improve the education system. My story began in 2016 when I got admitted at ALU. For those who don't know ALU, ALU is African Leadership University, a brand new university that has been created to create leaders who are going to transform Africa over the next decade. When I joined ALU and I had my first ever computer, I automatically fell in love with my computer because I realized that I could learn anything I want from this world at almost zero cost. So this is how, apart from my field of study, which is business management, I became a self-taught computer science enthusiast. And I developed skills like developing in HTML, CSS3, Python, PHP, and so on. After my first year at ALU, I got some job opportunities like interning with some SMEs, and I realized that in most of SMEs where I intern, they had a similar problem, and it's in Africa. They have management problem. And I realized that technology could actually solve those problems. This is how I team up with a friend, a computer science student, and we create our first ever company, PR Analytics. So PR Analytics is an IT consulting firm that provide software and management and productivity solution to companies so that they can be more efficient and effective. However, my entrepreneurial ambition is not just limited to PR Analytics, because after we launched PR Analytics, as a matter of fact, PR Analytics is 2 years old, and we have worked on more than 140 projects with more than 27 companies within more than 5 industries in more than 7 countries, and we actually employ 6 people full-time. After PR Analytics, I start blogging, like writing articles about Africa, about the skill gap, about unemployment, and so on and so forth. And something that was really amazing is that I started receiving a lot of requests from young Africans from Côte d'Ivoire, from Togo, from Mali, from Burkina Faso, etc. And all of them, they wanted me to help them to learn new skills in ICT, like how to use Microsoft software, how to use Microsoft project management, how to use Excel, etc. So I realized that I started having like video conference with different people during my weekend because I was still a student and I was an entrepreneur. So every Saturday, I have at least 2 to 3 hours call with students around Africa to teach them skills in ICT. But I realized that my method was not efficient. And there are many more other African students out there who don't know that I exist. And even so, I will never be able to provide them peer-to-peer mentoring. That's how I came up again with a new project, TutorPlus. TutorPlus is actually an e-learning platform dedicated to the African market and mostly the French-speaking Africa. Because for those who don't know, even though Africa is lagging behind, Francophone Africa, French-speaking Africa is lagging far behind the homologue Anglophone-speaking African countries. And language barrier is one of those problems. Because today, the education system is changing. Everything is changing. We are moving from classroom, traditional classroom, to e-learning platform. And there are so many interesting e-learning platforms, such as Coursera, Udemy, Udacity, you name it, there are a lot. But most of those platforms are in English. And 4 years ago, I could not speak English. If I didn't have the chance to go to African Leadership University, which is an university in English, I will never be able to learn all those stuff. So I thought that I can break this language barrier by creating this e-learning platform, which is especially dedicated to French-speaking countries. So the content are going to be translated from English to French. What makes TutorPlus unique? Okay, never mind. So what makes TutorPlus unique is that, first of all, our contents are all in English. And we are providing content, tailor-made content on cutting-edge technology tools. And we call this job-creating skills. Skills that as soon as you learn, you can apply it to the job market. So this is basically what we are doing. So from creating peer analytics to the education system. And how important is this? Ladies and gentlemen, please, I need your attention right now. Because at the moment I'm talking, we have exactly 5,665 days before Africa become the largest workforce in the world. And as I said, if we don't create solution, if we don't create job for this exponential growing population, which is in majority young, we are sitting on a ticking bomb. And it's not just for Africa, but the entire world. Thank you.